Fido question for you from Banu. Is Novavax stock a buy today? What are the long-term prospects in a year or two once COVID-19 calms down?
That's a very good question. I do think it's a buy. It's had an incredible run. I mean, the stock was trading at, in January last year, it was trading at $4, and now it's a little under $200. So it's had an amazing run. It's a $13 billion company. They are going to be one of the major COVID-19 vaccine providers in the world. I mean, Moderna, Pfizer, Novavax, maybe J&J, maybe AstraZeneca, but they're definitely Novavax is going to be major, and they're going to make a lot of money. They're going to make billions of dollars from this vaccine. What we don't know is how much we're going to have to continue to vaccinate over COVID-19. And that's a question of mutation. And if it mutates enough, and it mutates every year, we're going to have to revaccinate and revaccinate and revaccinate like we do with the flu. The flu mutates all the time. Novavax is a flu specialist. That was their, they've also got a flu vaccine, and they've got, in my opinion, the best flu vaccine in the world. And it hasn't been approved yet, but they've got wonderful phase 3 data, and they went head-to-head competition with Sanofi's vaccine, and they're the market leader in flu vaccines, and Novavax just dusted them in phase 1, in the animal data, phase 1, phase 2, and phase 3. And Novavax ultimately is going to do a combination vaccine, a combination flu, COVID-19.
They hope to.
They hope to, right. And they're going to do phase 1 trial, human trials. They had positive animal data. They're going to do phase 1 trials later this year. Flu is about a $5 billion market. COVID is a massive, I mean, just unbelievably large market. What we don't know, and nobody knows really, is how big is that market going to remain? Is this going to be something that stays with us over the next decade? Are we going to constantly vaccinate from COVID-19, or are we all going to build up an immunity and it just kind of disappears? If it disappears, then this massive revenue that Novavax is going to get, it's going to be more like a lump, and the revenues are going to come down to earth. But this has been, I think of Novavax as one of the premier vaccine companies, and the market has radically changed the valuation of vaccine companies. And we've seen in COVID-19 how important vaccination can be. So there are risks. What was at risk of Novavax beginning at $4 a share, it was execution risk. But now the risk is kind of a valuation risk. So are there cheaper stocks out there? Absolutely. But it's one of my family's, it's one of my largest holdings, Novavax, and I'm a big believer in the company. I love their story. I think it's going to be a great stock, and I'm definitely a holder. And it's expensive at $200 a share, or 190, wherever it is now. But I think over the next year, I'm certain, as certain as I can be, that they're going to get that EUA from the FDA, and that they're going to have these magnificent numbers. And I think the market is discounting that possibility. So I think in the near term, I think it's going to be a pretty fun ride for investors. Over the long term, it's kind of unknowable, because we don't know how COVID's going to shake out.